Welcome. Today, we are digging into a really fantastic short story by the Ghanaian author Ama Ata Aidu called The Girl Who Can. It's a story all about tradition, family expectations, and, how sometimes you don't even need words to make the biggest impact.
So, let's get right into it. Meet Ajoa. She's 7 years old, living in a small village in Ghana. And for Ajoa, there was this one huge, constant problem that just loomed over everything. And it wasn't about homework, it wasn't about chores, nope, it was way more personal than that.
So what was this big problem? Believe it or not, it was her legs. Yeah, her legs. According to the grown-ups around her, especially her grandmother, Nana, they were just too skinny. And this wasn't some offhand comment. Oh no. It was this endless, frustrating debate that just followed her around, day in and day out. And what made it worse was that Ajoa's frustration went so much deeper than just her legs. She had all these thoughts and ideas buzzing in her head, but she felt like she didn't have the right words to make the adults take her seriously. Whenever she tried to speak up, they'd just laugh. So what do? She learned to just keep it all inside.
Okay, so let's talk about Nana, her grandmother. Nana was the main voice in this whole "your legs are too thin" chorus. She was a super practical woman, deeply rooted in tradition, and she had a very, very clear and unshakable idea of what a woman's body was for.
I mean, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures Nana's entire worldview. For her, a woman's value, her purpose, was all tied up in her ability to have children. You needed strong legs with meat on them to support strong hips, which you needed for childbirth. So in Nana's mind, it was simple math. Ajoa's thin legs made her, useless for a woman's main job.
And, as you can imagine, this led to a huge clash with Ajoa's mom, Kaya. You had Nana looking at Ajoa's legs like they were a total failure. But her mom would just fire back. At least she has legs. This conflict wasn't just about legs either. It was about everything, especially school. Nana thought school was a complete waste of time for a girl. But for Kaya, who'd never had the chance to go, school was everything. It was freedom. It was a way out of what she called the dark, closed room of not being able to read or write.
But here's where the story takes a turn. We shift to a place where Nana's traditional views really don't matter at all: school. And it's here that Ajoa's supposedly useless legs are about to find a whole new purpose. Get this. Ajoa walked 5 kilometers to get to school, and 5 kilometers back home, every single day. Even the older kids would complain about the long walk, but Ajoa, it was nothing for her. This is really our first hint that there's something special about her. And it turns out, she didn't just walk, she was a runner. In fact, she was the fastest runner in her whole school, winning races every single year. But did she ever say anything about it at home? Nope. Why would she? She probably figured any of her achievements would just be laughed at, so she kept this amazing talent all to herself. But this year was different. This year, Ajoa gets chosen to represent her entire school in the big district-level running competition, and, this single event is going to change absolutely everything for her and her family. And watching Nana's reaction is just fantastic. It's this slow, amazing transformation. First, she's in total disbelief. She actually marches all the way to the school just to make sure the news is true. Then Ajoa catches her just staring at her legs, but this time it's with a look of, wonder. A little later, Nana is washing and ironing Ajoa's school uniform over and over, and finally, on the day of the games, there she is, in the crowd, dressed in her absolute finest clothes, just radiating pride. It's incredible. And Ajoa, she does not disappoint. She just flies down that track. She wins every single race she's in, and to top it all off, she's named the best junior athlete and gets to bring home this huge, shining silver cup. And that cup, that shining trophy, did something that no argument, no words ever could have. In one moment, it just shattered all those old beliefs her family held. It was real, tangible proof that a girl's worth has nothing to do with outdated traditions, but everything to do with her own unique, unexpected talents.
Later that evening, Nana has Ajoa in her lap, and she whispers these words, almost to herself. It's this beautiful moment of pure revelation for her. She finally gets it. She realizes that a girl's body, even if it doesn't fit her traditional ideal, holds all this incredible, limitless potential. Thin legs can run, and if they can do that, who knows what else they can do?
And right then, Ajoa realizes something too. She never needed the proper language to make herself heard. She didn't have to fight or argue or try to convince anyone with words.
Her victory, her action, it did all the talking for her. She showed them, with zero room for doubt, exactly what she could do.
You know, Joa's story is such a powerful reminder that changing someone's mind isn't always about having the perfect argument. Sometimes it's about providing undeniable proof. Which leaves us with this question to think about. In a world that is so full of talk and noise, why do you think showing someone the truth is still so much more powerful than just telling them? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.